Welcome back to the front stretch, rolling into turn number 2, presented by Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs, the official watering hole of the front stretch. Our guest today, I'm going to take a total shot and say whenever he goes over to Quaker Steak and Lube and enjoys classic car cruising, might be a burger guy.
I like the wings too.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What would you take more of?
Probably the wings actually.
Okay.
I go over there to get the wings.
If I remember right, he was a Polish guy at the racetrack.
Polish dog. Yep.
They had Polish hot dogs here at the CHI Center. $27 for a 3-inch Polish dog. So it was a hell of a deal.
When we went to the Gateway Dirt Nationals, they locked you in there for a 14-hour event.
Right.
They were like $14 for the Polish dog or something like that.
When I went to the Dirt in December back in 17, went down and got like a burger and a bag of chips and a drink.
Yeah.
Come back up and I lift up my chips, and the chips had expired like 7 months earlier.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm like, hold on. Went back.
The only thing reasonable I bought at that event was Velocity had
probably
a booth.
a T-shirt.
No, I got a pair of racing shoes and gloves for the price of a pair of shoes. So, and they shipped them to me because I didn't want to carry them around in the event the entire time. So,
we are doing a Lyle's Tire and Wheels interview with Roger Elliot. Prices of everything today are through the roof, so save yourself on wheels and tires at Lyle's Tire and Wheels in Omaha, 84th and J Street. You can find them online, lylestire.com. Wheel alignments, aftermarket equipment, rims.
Lift kits for Teslas.
Lift kits for that's still pending, patent pending on that one, but we'll get back to you on that. The funny thing is we've been sitting here all day making the same joke, but this joke is going to span all the way to May.
Yep.
And people are going to be like, do you think they're ever going to get around to finding out if there's going to be a lift kit for a Tesla? But all the great stuff, aftermarket accessories, custom accessories, all that great stuff. Lyle's Tire and Wheels, 84th and J Street in Omaha, just north of the interstate on the favorite road of 84th Street in Omaha. Get over to Lyle's Tire and Wheels today. Save yourself a little bit of money.
And that nitrous inflation is really nice because you don't go out there the first time it gets to zero and your tires look flat.
You know,
all your alerts go off.
It's so ironic that you said that because all this
your
week.
Your tires look flat all the time.
All this week, my car obviously has constant tire gauge awareness, right? So I started off on Monday that my car was at like 43 PSI, all 4 tires. On Tuesday, when it got down to cold temperatures, it dropped a little bit. Then Thursday and Friday, when it was warmer, it's up around 47, 48. So I remember thinking for the longest time, I'm like, I will never pay to put nitrogen in my tires because that's
the aluminum seeps.
It's so it's just excessive. And then this week, I was like, nitrogen doesn't sound too bad because I don't have to worry about – I've literally had to get out of my car, let air out of the tires because the warning lights won't get off or shut off. And then 2 days later, I'm stopping at a gas station putting air back in it because the temperature in the environment is fluctuating so much.
I'm just going to tell you my wife's BMW was nitrogen inflated.
Yeah.
It's still, when it got cold, they seeped out.
They still did the same
Yep,
thing?
Did the same thing.
Roger Elliot joining us, driver of the 6K throughout the area. And I guess a little birdie came and told me that you've decided to go stock car racing.
Yeah. I long time, I worked at Sunset, long time late model fan. My stepdad and my mom ran Mid-Continent Raceway back in the mid-70s, early 80s. So late models were always near and dear to my heart, but being 53 and being a single crew, it's tough to show up to a racetrack by yourself and run. And it's easier to race somewhere close where my families and friends can show up and watch the races. And so after I rolled my late model in Denison at the end of 2023, I went hunting to see if I could find somebody to trade me a stock car. Found a nice gentleman, Wayne Curry, up in northern Iowa that did me a fair swap of his stock car for my wrecked GRT late model. So we switched. Yep. And we spent the first couple of weeks trying to figure out how to drive a stock car, and then finally figured out how to drive a stock car, won a heat race, which was super exciting. And then I need to learn how to ride a bicycle better because I busted my face and missed the rest of the season.
Oh, jeez. Now, wait a minute.
Serious?
Bicycle or motorcycle?
Electric bicycle riding across Memorial Park. I live 4 houses down from the backside of Memorial Park. They had the concert in the park. I rode over there to see my buddies that did the fireworks. I used to do the fireworks at Eagle to see why half the fireworks didn't go off. And on my way back, I hit something in the dark and went hand straight over the handlebars and landed on my head. And after they found me, 15 minutes later, after they searched with an ambulance to find me, they found me bleeding in the baseball field, loaded me up, and sent me to the hospital where I was for until like Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had no bullet holes in him or stab wounds or anything, so it was all good.
Yeah. One of my sponsors specifically put on their check this year, please stay off the electric bike. So we're making that commitment. I cashed a check.
Is it one of those electric bikes that Joe Kaziski sells?
No, it was one my wife bought a couple years ago. It's just a little one. Like I said, we live by the park, so you just tool up and down through the park. And but it's got the little tires on it. So
the little 10-speed tires?
Yeah, it's got the little mini tires on it. So
that's not very
something got in the front spoke, and that thing just stopped, and I went right over.
I had that happen on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I swear to God. But my dad doesn't believe me. He thinks I was trying to skid the tires across the road.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, look at my face.
Yeah.
No.
I skidded my tire, my face across the road.
Instead of the tire, I used my face.
Yeah.
Which you can see. All right. Looks like you've healed nicely.
I've healed up.
Ready to go.
Yep.
So kicking off the season at Eagle, are you going to hit any Dirt Crown events to kind of shake it loose early?
When I bought this car, I bought one 650 rear end gear. I don't know if you know how much it costs to buy different rear end gears in a stock car, but they're $700 a piece versus $70 a set in a late model. So
with the full pumpkin and a good pumpkin and everything.
Right, exactly. So I bought a 650 gear, which is good for a 1/3 mile track, and so I'm stuck on 1/3 mile tracks. That gives me Harlan, Eagle, Columbus as options.
Crate motor?
No, it's
open.
It's an open motor. We worked with Roger Hayden, and he put me together a set of heads, and we actually changed out the oil pan and the pickup, and used the same bottom end that I had because I had an IMCA spec motor in the late model. So I just changed out the heads and the intake to meet the new requirements, and got a different carburetor. So was able to salvage my Brin transmission and as many parts as possible, my seat and everything like that, to make the switch as cheap as possible. So
stock car runs a 2-barrel, right?
Stock car runs a 2-barrel.
650?
500.
500.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you open is like limited to 350, but the 360 cubic inch is a 500 CFM.
And then the crate motor gets the 4-barrel.
There is no crate motor allotment in stock cars currently.
Not
there
yet.
is no option.
Not yet.
There is no crate motor option.
Not yet.
I don't think it'll come. I don't think it'll come. I think the crate motors will disappear before they get added to stock cars. So.
That's interesting. I don't think I knew that there was no crate motor option.
There is no crate motor option.
Well, they were working on it. The last year I did engine tech stuff was in 11. The big flood year, I worked at Park Jefferson.
That was 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe they work slow.
The dinosaurs were already dead. Don't worry about it.
It just dawned on, like, that was more of not like me saying it to you. That was me saying it to myself. Like, you were like, hey, back in 2011 when I was doing this, and I'm like, that was 14 years ago.
I think a couple years. I think a couple years before me switching is when they added the Brin transmission as an option. Even that was not an option. So,
but I was working with Tom Gutowski up there, and he had several of the guys. The 360s just came in that year. That was the first year of the 360s.
Yep.
But they were starting to work on going to a crate motor, and still haven't got there. So maybe you'll be right. Maybe they won't do a crate.
Yeah. I think they've just kind of left it out of that class. It fits the mods, it fits the B mods, the hobby stocks, but I think they've pretty much left it out of.
Well, they're different. Yes. They're different motors.
Yeah.
Different crates and whatnot, but.
Yep. And I think with the weight, I don't know if the weight of the car or what it is, but there is no crate.
No, because the hobby weighs a ton.
Right,
so.
But it's also a 9-to-1 motor, and not quite as fast. So.
We're talking with Roger Elliot. I'm over here digging around trying to get stuff and helping out with this interview. So just don't mind me.
We'll just keep on going.
Trying to find all the parts that I needed for Shaylee's computer, which comes back and grabs it from me. But let's talk a little bit about, you know what? Let's go history. We probably should have started with history, but we're going to hit history midway through the interview. what the hell? You said that your parents own Mid-Continent Raceway.
No, my parents did not own it. So my stepdad is Speedy Hill, and my mom is Linda Hill.
I didn't think I knew that.
So I was the little blonde-haired kid that served all the sloppy joes at Sunset Speedway pit concession stand until they closed. I worked there from the time I was 14, 15 years old. Worked in the cotton candy area, and then they put me down in the pits. But when my mom and my stepdad got married in 1978, 79, he got an offer from the commission, the board, fair board that owned Mid-Continent Speedway at the time, and we went out there and ran it for a couple of years. We'd sell the programs. We'd then go back the next day and clean up the grandstands on a Sunday, and we got paid whatever we found in the parking lot. We found $100 one time. That was a pretty exciting day.
Wow.
Somebody reached in to grab their keys, and their wad of cash fell out, and they left it there. So
that was a good day.
That was a good day. That was a good day. We'd always find a little bit of change underneath the concession stands, but to find $100 in the parking lot was exciting.
Well, I know them Boy Scouts that used to clean Sunset and whatnot that Craig would, have different groups come out and do. They had some stories about finding whole purses and whatever under the grandstands there.
Yep.
It always amazes me, like at the Library Pub and then at Eagle and in various places that I've worked, the lost and found section, when you fumble through there and you're like, really? How did this not go home with you?
Right.
I'm pretty sure some of the bars that I've left, if my head wasn't attached, somebody would have found it in the lost and found section and been like, well, you think maybe he needed this to drive home.
Take it home with him. Yeah.
I'd have lost my head several times.
Yep. So I did, transition forward. After I-80 closed, I bought one of Keith Lighthoff's old Rayburn copies, ran it for a half a season until he blew up the motor and put it in the garage, and then had kids and had to move on, and finally got back around, I want to say 2009, and my brother came across a sport compact. He was running a hobby stock, so messed with that for a couple of years, had some fun. Just, it was always cool as a kid. Sitting in Columbus, sitting at Mid-Continent, watching the races. I actually have a picture of myself from one of the old dirt track news articles, asleep during the A feature in the middle of Mid-Continent on top of a cooler. And the fire truck next to me was on a dash fire caught, and as a cameraman walked over to take a picture of what was going on, took a picture of me asleep in the middle of a racetrack. Yeah. My nephew over there, sprint car, still to this day makes him tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can sleep in places like that, God bless you. I don't know how, and nobody understands. I could sleep on a school bus like a baby.
Yeah, I can sleep on a plane, and most people can't.
Those are the roughest rides, but I'm out.
Yeah.
It doesn't faze me at all.
Yeah.
So you decided to get back into it 2 years ago. Had a little bit of an incident. Had to take some time away. Came back, and now you're excited to be back behind a stock car. What are your goals for 2025? Behind the wheel of the stock car?
So I've never been able to successfully complete an entire season. So I sat down with my wife and I said, I would like to try to just race an entire season at one track and just see where I end up in points.
What's the craziest thing that stopped you from completing a season?
That list is long.
Well, I mean, first of all, we just talked about the bicycle accident.
That was pretty
after,
that's probably the winner.
After winning a heat race, having the car finally set up, then going and smashing your face in. Mm-hmm. Just, financial reasons, it just got to the point. Track conditions, Junction Motor Speedway, I was running, third or fourth in the points a couple years ago, and the track one night was so rough that we were bouncing out of our seats through the corners, and I just was showing up by myself, the damage it was doing to the cars and the things I needed to do to repair them. It wasn't worth my time, so I picked up my car and we tried a couple different tracks just to see, and I think I finished 7th or 8th in the points that year. And if I would have went those 3 weeks that I didn't, I think I would have ended up finishing 5th. So it's just, I've always wanted to just run an entire season. Eagles close by. Roger has been a friend of our family's for years and years and years. My wife's very supportive of it. And my mom is the scorer in the scoring tower, so she gets a bonus of watching her son race on the track as she does her job. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so goal for the year is to complete the season.
Complete the season. Okay. So on my schedule we're just our weekly races at Eagle. Super excited for the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. We're the support class on Thursday night. My job, I work for Southwest Airlines, and they want me to be in Dallas that week. And I said, I'll be there until Wednesday, but I'm flying out Wednesday because I will be Thursday. I will be at the racetrack. So,
well, I want to ask his fan base here, what is the over and under? Is that like July 4th? Can he make it past there, or is he going to be in before that?
Okay. Yeah. We got some bettors there.
Yep.
What about second week of August, which is like 80% of the season? Can he make it to the second week of August? Okay. We got some faith.
Yeah.
They got some faith in you, Roger.
Yeah.
All right. This is it.
That's it.
Can he make it to the Tiny Lund?
Again, my goal is to finish the point season at Eagle. You need
to push yourself, Roger. Push yourself.
If all goes above board exceptional at Eagle, let's say you happen to knock off 3 wins. You're in the points title. Maybe things don't go great. You still end up finishing 4th in the points.
I'll be ecstatic.
After the season's over with, is it I'm not pushing my luck anymore, I'm done, or are you we'll
find some specials to hit. Yeah, we'll find some specials to hit. Again, the Lincoln family, Bobby and they're close family friends. Like I said, we helped at that track when they first opened up when Abe was around, and so anytime I can go up there and help support their track, I love to. So.
Isn't Bobby one of the funnest people?
He is. He's great.
He's great. The things that come out of his mouth, I'm like, are you kidding?
Do you want to tell me my favorite Bobby Lincoln story?
Yes. So I need to mark it for purposes?
You might. So we Columbus is open, and Bobby at that time is the flag man. And this is tall, skinny Bobby. I don't know if you've seen the tall,
Never
skinny
met that guy.
Tall, skinny Bobby is up on the flag stand. And me and my brothers and sisters are rooting for some car, and I don't know if it was the front cylinder class at that, whatever class it was. The guy behind me did not like the fact that we were rooting for the car we were rooting for. And there was 3 kids in yellow. My mom always dressed us in yellow because the fire crew was in yellow, and they could follow us around the track and know where we were.
Yeah.
He hit me. He smacked me in the back of the head and said, "You need to shut up." And I turned around and looked at him as a cocky 11-year-old and said, "I don't think you wanted to do that." And as the race is going on, climbed up the flag stand, tugged on Bobby's pants, and Bobby turns around like, "What are you doing up here on the flag stand?" And I said, "That guy just hit me." They threw a red flag, and at that point, that guy knew something was wrong and took off. Here comes my parents. Bobby comes down. They red flag the race. They get there. Here comes security, the sheriff's department, and the entire crowd pointed the dude out as he's trying to head to the exit.
That's very Bobby Lincoln-esque.
Yes. And the poor gentleman also got met by the local sheriff's department after he pulled out onto Highway 30 to exit the property in shame.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Bobby's a great
Red
guy.
flagged a race because somebody hit Scooter in the back of the head.
Don't be doing that. Rule for anybody. Respect those who are rooting for the driver you hate.
Yeah.
Just give them some respect.
Yeah.
And that should be a rule at Eagle, too, because I've seen a couple of fights right out in front of the announcement booth. Because
I saw one last year at the end of the season, just people just going at it. It's like, root for who you want to root for and leave it alone.
Just leave it be. All right, let's thank some of those great sponsors that are helping you get up and down the road.
All right. Well, first of all, my lovely wife, Kathleen Elliott, who is a real estate agent with Better Homes and Gardens, the Good Life Group. Also, her fantastic broker, Tom Simmons, who helps support the car. My good friends Al and Kim Nelson with Trustworthy Title and Escrow Services. Troy Heisey, our insurance agent with Omaha Insurance Services. My good friend Carly with Compass and Quill Design, who does all my driver's cards for me. Our friends Steve and Dana Patterson. Stephanie Kenny with West Obe Auto Body. My wife is made French with Stephanie Kenny. My wife has no idea who John Kenny is or what he did in the days back at Sunset, but she likes Stephanie, and Stephanie, for in remembrance of her father, sends me a check and says, "Here you go," because Dad would want me to. So
that's awesome.
Yep. And then just last week, Kimball Electric has come on board, and so I'm still waiting for him to send me some logos so I can get them on the car. So, yes, it's been great.
And when he was talking about Stephanie Kenny, when her dad raced Pro-Ams out at Sunset back in the day, above his door, for his driver's name was Stuntman.
Oh, nice. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to go back and look at the records, but we did a Legends of the Dirt Series event down at Quaker Steak, and John was wearing a T-shirt that he had made one year, and it was Sunset Corner officials, and they were all walking around with blind man sticks.
Yeah.
Seemed like the guy had a great sense of humor.
He did.
Great sense of humor.
Yeah, well, that was you would have been, that would have been John Jr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not John
Senior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Senior owned West Omaha Auto Body.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yes.
Roger, appreciate
Yes.
you joining us, man.
Thank you
it's
for
good
having
to finally
me.
meet you. I know we've ran into each other at racetracks and probably shook a hand, maybe had a beer or two, but it's good to finally sit down and talk with you.
Yep.
Thanks
for having me.
repping the show.
Yep.
Yeah, appreciate
you.
that.
And you can pay me for that, too.
I know. I still owe him for the
Somebody
shirt.
finally paid you.
It's a good thing you wore it because I didn't even think about it until I saw he was wearing it.
Good luck this year down at Eagle. I really appreciate you joining us, man.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for us in today's podcast. Dirk and I are going to be back on Thursday with another edition of The Front Stretch.